a little girl is having a picnic in the park. She opens up a basket of goodies and lays it out on the blanket. Among the treats are some delicious nuts. But before she can enjoy them, a sneaky squirrel swipes one from the basket and darts up a tree. The girl's orange cat, Marmalade, takes off after him. He jumps and climbs, leaping from branch to branch until he spots the culprit. Up ahead, the squirrel stuffs an acorn into a hole and scurries away. Marmalade looks around for another way to get at the stash when he notices a twig wedged behind the log. He bats it with his paw, but it won't budge. So he does something even smarter. Marmalade jumps up and down on the log, then pushes it toward the edge of the hole with his nose. Finally, it rolls free, revealing all of the acorns inside. The clever kitty unsticks the rest of them one by one, batting them out of the log. Then he proudly presents his treasures to the little girl. She gives him some pets and a tasty treat as a reward. Meanwhile, the squirrel watches from afar, wondering what took Marmalade so long. He was too busy burying more acorns and totally missed the surprise that awaited him. Marmalade creeps closer, keeping low to the ground. When he's close enough, he pounces, sending the squirrel tumbling through the air. The cat lets out a victorious meow as he bats the squirrel over and over again. But the sneaky rodent darts out of his paws time and time again. Every time Marmalade thinks he's got him, the squirrel squirms free. Finally, the cat lets out a frustrated hiss and gives up the chase. He finds the little girl and rubs against her leg. She throws a ball for him, and they spend the rest of the afternoon playing in the park. The squirrel watches them from a distance, feeling humiliated. He vows to get even with the orange cat. Later that evening, Marmalade curls up on the sofa and purrs as the girl does her homework at the table. Suddenly, she gasps. Her nuts have disappeared. Could the squirrel have gotten in through the window? Just then, Marmalade lets out a loud meow and sprints to the window. Outside, the squirrel is scampering up the wall. Marmalade races after him, leaping and landing on the window ledge. He swats at the squirrel with his paws, but it just taunts him from above. Finally, the cat jumps up and grabs hold of the bird feeder hanging from the eave. He climbs higher and higher until he's right behind the squirrel. This time, there's nowhere left for him to run. Marmalade swats him across the face, then jumps down to grab his prize. The squirrel runs off as soon as he sees the cat coming. And sure enough, the first thing he does is hide the nuts. This time, Marmalade is ready for him. He follows the squirrel and waits patiently while the little girl plays with her dolls inside. When the coast is clear, he sneaks outside and follows the squirrel's scent. He finds the nuts buried under a bush and carries them back to the girl. She squeals with delight and gives Marmalade lots of love. Meanwhile, the squirrel sulks under the bush. He's tired of being outsmarted by the cat and decides to make one final stand. He darts across the yard and up the tree, leading Marmalade on a wild goose chase. The squirrel runs as fast as he can, but the cat is hot on his tail. Finally, the squirrel turns around and faces his pursuer. He lunges and swipes, then runs away before Marmalade can react. The cat watches him go, then looks around for the girl. He meows loudly, hoping she hear him. And sure enough, she comes running. Together, they find all of the hidden nuts and enjoy them as a delicious snack. The squirrel watches from afar, defeated. He might be quick and clever, but he'll never outsmart the orange cat. All the animals in the forest are gathering for their annual feast, but a sneaky squirrel has hidden all the acorns. The rabbits are hopping mad and the birds are chirping loudly. Everyone is looking for a way to retrieve the stashed acorns. When a wise old owl suggests they call for help, The animals agree and send out a messenger to find the smartest creature in the forest, the orange cat. He hears their plea and immediately sets off to help. The messenger leads him straight to the squirrel's secret stash, but when they arrive, it's empty. The squirrel has already eaten all of the acorns. Feeling outraged, the cat pounces on the bushy tail. The squirrel darts away, leading him on a wild goose chase through the trees. The cat leaps and bounds, trying to catch up with him, but the squirrel is too quick. Finally, he stops to take a breather and looks around for another way to get at the stash. That's when he spots a woodpecker pecking at a hole in the tree. Carefully, he approaches and sticks his nose inside the hole. It's just big enough for him to squeeze through. On the other side, the cat finds himself inside the squirrel's secret stash. He bats around the acorns, sending them scattering. Then he backs out slowly, keeping an eye out for any signs of the squirrel. Sure enough, he sees the telltale flash of a bushy tail disappearing into the bushes. The cat follows and finds the squirrel hiding inside. He meows loudly, letting the squirrel know that he's been found out. With a defeated sigh, the squirrel gives up and surrenders the rest of the acorns. The cat returns them to the forest clearing where all the animals are waiting. They cheer and celebrate, grateful for the return of their beloved acorns. The squirrel hangs his head in shame, knowing he'll never outsmart the clever orange cat. And that's the end of our story.